Hey, welcome everybody. In this video I'm going to create advanced data table. So this will be the format of the table. We'll be creating filters on the top and the data table down here, and whenever someone clicks on something it will open modal with extra information or forms in it, and there will be attachments and user can change the status from there, and it can display a multi-tab model with attachments, notes and details. And these are few requirements. When hovering over some name, it should show tooltip. And talking about filters, there are different kind of filter. One is drop down filter, simple drop down, date picker, where you can do database autocomplete search for large number of options, and there are options with number of counts, and these counts will dynamically change depending on other search filters, so it will be quite useful as well. It will let us know how to create dependable search filters. And we have relationship select field, and scout source autocomplete. We can use here melee search or any algolia related source, so it will utilize scout source for that. And these are few requirements. Let's see how we can achieve this using filament and livewire. So this is kind of application, kind of single page application or advanced data table. So these got much more features as you go along. So these attachment can be rotated and things like that. There will be multiple features that can be added. So I will discuss how we can add these features, what is the right way, best way to achieve these, and how we can manage and utilize the powerful filament PHP to achieve that. So let's jump into code. So I have one table. It can be any table for you, and I will create a resource for that. In order to create a resource, we have a command php artisan filament. So it's make filament resource. So the name of your class, in my case my model class is timecard, and I will do generate. What this will do is it will generate a resource for your table. So I have timecard table, so I will create so by the way, let me show you, this is the fresh installation of Laravel with filament installed. Just go through filament documentation to install that, and I have nothing here. Now let's generate a timecard. Alright, so after this command, if I refresh, you can see timecard here with all the data. Let's open up timecard resource that is just generated. Here inside table we have columns and we have filters. So first filter is very simple filter that we can add, which is select filter, and we need to import the class, and we can provide options over here. And if we go ahead and refresh it, we can see filter over here, right? So we want filter over here above content. How to do that? In filter, it accepts second argument. I think it is filter layout, and there are a few options you can see over here. We want above content, and similarly right now I have provided a simple array. It can be any database query which returns array. Alright, so it can be from any table like users table. You can plug name and ID and do to array. I think in my case username. There we go, like table, right? And if you want to make any changes over here, you can map through it and put any options there. Like this. Alright, so there are a lot of possibilities you can do. You can also add counts. So here if you go over level, you can append any number of counts and things like that. Alright, now that we know how to create filters, let's go ahead and create dependent filters. For that we'll need custom filters. We cannot use existing one, and for our use case we need to build custom filters. In order to create custom filters, we need to define form, and then we need to define query, what query needs to be run whenever a particular form value has been changed. Let's go ahead and copy this over here. Let's get rid of all of these. Now what I will do is I will define a select field. So we need two fields in order to achieve dependable fields. Let's import the class. So this is simple select form with few options getting loaded from database. And next we will be making another filter, which will be the status filter. Let's go ahead and create that as well. Inside same form we need to create another filter. Let me import it. Filaments form get. Okay, let me explain. So this is a simple select field. Notice here we have done live equals to true. What it will do is it will update on change. So we'll have access to the value that has been updated via this utility function, and we can get all the data related to form by their key, and then we can construct an array and then pass it to any functions that is responsible for getting dependent data. Let me comment this out for now. And inside this query we'll write how the filter should work on change of these things. So let me go ahead and return query. So whenever there is data for MSP, it should do the database query like so. And similarly you can chain for other, let's say, let me replicate. So whenever status is changed, what needs to be done? So our custom logic will go here. Alright, behind the scenes I have fixed few queries, and let me display working solution. So we have MSP field. According to this value we need to update options in this status field. So for now these are irrelevant. If you have other fields, form fields, then you can pass data of those like so in array. And then this function is responsible for returning the array by getting count and appending it into array. Alright, so this will do all the filtering work, query filter, then the data arrived from there will be appending total count as an option to the key. Let's go into browser and see. Let's reset everything. Right now we have these by default. Let's select something, see how value changes. No data for this. Let's see if we get data for any of those. Yeah, there is value changes automatically. Alright, so it is working. Next we'll learn how to create a searchable select filter. Let's go ahead and make this field searchable so that user can type instead of loading all result beforehand. Will only load as user searches. Let's make it searchable. This is the option available to us. After doing that we can get typing, but still all the data is getting loaded on real time, beforehand. So in order to do search as you type, we have an option called get search results using. There we go. Then this accepts callback function. Let's create a function. So we'll be passing string and it will return like this. So this autocomplete is helping me. And here what we'll do is we can get rid of this. Let's put it new line. Yeah, we don't need options now. So it will just check if account name matches with the search term and then get it. Instead of getting everything, we can just get like limit 20 results, 20 top results, and we can convert it to array. That's it. So one more thing we need to do here is, let's go ahead and first check it. There we go. So you see this label, how it label got key value. So key's name is displayed. Instead what we need is, we need to, there is some error here as well. So first let's tackle out that error first. What's the issue? Account where this limit, first we need to get it and then to array. Sorry about that. Okay, now let's search for something. Okay, so here problem is it doesn't find how we define these keys. There is another option while using this search using. We need to specify get option label using. So we need to define what is the options label, using. There we go. This also accepts function which accepts value that has been selected, and then let's go ahead and return. We need to find that value. Let's put it on new line first. Let's plug account name and ID. Now we don't need to do get since we are doing plug, and this limit should be above the plug. That's our query, and here we define label. So whenever we refresh or whenever the value is already selected, then account need to be displayed as label. We can get rid of this now. Okay, now let's search. It's working. So we have options, we can select. There is no data for these. Okay, so this is how we define a searchable select filter. Here are other options that you can use. For example, this ternary filter is good for Boolean fields, and this query builder. So whenever you use this query builder, you can construct your own query using and or. So there it will give you form. Over here the form will be displayed, and you can select which options that you want to combine. So basically you are just creating filter yourself. And the custom filter that we just used, and there are other filter layouts as well. So before moving on, let me show you one thing. So in case of dependable filters, we can name it dependable. So we can name it anything. So what we are doing here is this filter we have defined form, and in case of something that is dependent on other, we need to put it on same form. So as you can see, this is array. Let me collapse that just in case. Yeah, so this is filter over here, and if we need to define other filters, then we can do here, like it can be select filter and things like that. And remember the other filter, let's say what it will be recruiters. It can be any filter, but the value that has been changed in this form will not be available in another filter here. So if you are constructing dependable filter, then you need to define one custom filter, and then inside form of that custom filter you define all the form fields. Now let's say there are three fields that are their data is dependent, and if we keep adding more and more form fields, it will look ugly, right? Let me show you. So it will get stacked one upon another. If we add one more, let me duplicate this. So these three are, let's say, dependent on each other. There you go. So it keeps stacking, right? So how do we maintain layout? So to maintain layout, what we can use is grid. Let's go ahead and define grid. So here in form, inside form, we wrap everything inside grid. So let me just cut out everything and then define grid filament form component grid. Actually, let's see. yeah, form component, create, make, so this will be the column. How many column that we want 4 columns, so that we can show it horizontally. So here is schema. Well, now we can paste everything that we have before. There we go. We just wrapped everything inside. Great. Now let's go ahead and see. And one more thing, what we need to do is to fix this one option is there. For this table we need to define form. There's something called filter form columns, so we'll define 1 column. There we go. For filters we have 1 column, then it is fixed. Alright, so this is how we defined filter. There are other options that we can use. You can export this. I think this is quite helpful to get you started using this. And if you need other options, you can explore this form builder, and inside select options, what we have option to do, you can make interaction with the relationship and things like that. So there is already relationship filter which extends this. So if you need simple filter, then you don't need to go for custom filters. Just the select filter will work. Select filter, relationship select filter. So if you just define this and define relationship, what is the relationship and what attribute you need to target, to search and to display, then this will just work. You don't need to write these 2 things. In case of custom filter, we need to write first what should be the form and how the filter should work inside this query. Alright, so this is all about filters in FilamentPHP.